Hey guys, Engineer Wannabe here with my good friends Sam and Torrent. It's good to see you all. I'm casual, I'm very casual, wearing a shirt that Dan
Oh,
sent me.
what?
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Have you guys seen these new ones that Dave put out? The Seiko turtle.
No, I haven't.
Um,
Oh, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Is that a tree? Or is that a Ninja Turtle or something?
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be a turtle, but
Oh, I
it has
see.
the
I see.
Seiko
Okay,
turtle case, right?
gotcha.
So, from Just to Watch, Dave's
Yeah,
store. Yeah.
Dave's a good guy. So
mm,
if you need a shirt, you should go support him. um, but yeah, it's good to see you all. Uh, How are you doing, Sam? And what is
as,
on your wrist?
as always,
Yeah.
just enjoying the weekend, doing fine. I'm actually wearing this Stover Marine Original,
Oh,
but there's
nice.
no autofocus on this thing, so
Yeah, that's all right.
it is a nice watch. Has a good wrist
Yeah.
presence. Nice sub seconds at 6. Love the classic look of it, the marine clock look.
You've had that for
Yeah,
quite some time now, right?
yeah. I think I've had this for yeah. COVID is I've lost track of time.
Yeah.
Close to a year probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love the clean look of the watch.
Yeah. Looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
nice watch.
yeah.
Mm.
Torin, how are you doing?
Not too bad. I helped a friend from church move today,
Oh,
so
nice.
yeah,
How'd
I'm a
that
little
go?
gassed. And then my brother and I did a quick hike, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can feel the tiredness already. What's on your wrist, sir?
Um, I don't know if my beverage gave it away, but I'm going with a root beer tonight, guys.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I know when you got that.
Yeah. You were supposed to join me at your AD,
Yeah.
and they weren't supposed to have this either. It's just your friend pulled it out of the back,
Yeah.
and then we did some talking.
Congrats, man.
congratulations.
How's it feel having another Tudor GMT back in the collection?
It feels good.
Yeah.
And this one, I know a lot of people say it. I think the press photos don't do it justice. Like it's very warm tones.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it looks good. Bobby, did you see Torin just got a Tudor root beer?
Oh,
Bag root beer.
I'm
congratulations.
drinking root beer.
Double congrats there.
Yeah. Look at that.
Nice.
So is that your first foray into two-tone? You had a date just before or something, right?
Yeah, aside from the date just.
Yeah. Very cool.
So yeah, I plan to put out a video on it, and just like on the topic of two-tone watches in general. I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah. How are you, Bobby? Mr. Sleep Deprived?
Getting less of the sleep, but enjoying. Can you hear me? I don't have a
Yeah.
mic. Okay, good.
Yeah. Wait, where are you from right now? Your
Atlanta.
location?
Yeah, because of the last stream, I changed the whole setting in the background. I moved out of state, painted the walls. Yeah, yeah. So, but in Georgia for other reasons.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's good. Thanks for joining us tonight.
yeah.
What's on your wrist?
I've been wearing this for the last 5 months, so not much of a. I think I've used this on the street before. The GP Laureato.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it.
So I saw you were wearing a Chapek Antarctique. Was that you, or did I just? Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
you must be sleep deprived too.
I am sleep deprived. Actually, I'm a little low energy right now, and I was thinking, did Bobby get a Chapek Antarctique? Is that Bobby's wrist? You said you were planning to get a Chapek Antarctique,
Yeah.
but then you pivoted, right? To
No, I'm still.
Oh, okay.
I think it's some Amin. I think is one of the people who's debating whether he wants to continue being on
Right,
the list
okay.
for Chapek.
Mm.
Yeah. Man, I don't know where I saw that. But anyway.
What's on your wrist, Sanjay?
On my wrist is a Grand Seiko. I thought maybe Sam would be wearing his, but SPGM 221,
Oh, nice.
Nice.
the Russian hatch green strap. Um,
Can you show me the case back? Because I think that's my favorite Grand Seiko, and I just want to make sure it doesn't have the stamp on it, does it?
no.
Okay.
It's a chunky monkey though,
Okay.
but not. It doesn't feel that way on the wrist.
Okay.
Yeah, well, let's say hi to everyone in the chat here as soon as I get my watch situated. Sorry about the low energy, guys. Had a longer than normal week at work, but yeah, adjusting. Neff wants me to get a job. I'll
Oof.
yeah, I will. Hey Reinhard, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. We got Dan, good to see you, sir, and Bill. BJ's here as well. Dan is rocking the Weiss.
Titanium Weiss.
Yeah,
Nice.
sweet blue dial. Black Bay 58 for BJ. Very cool. We got Marcus is here. Good to see you, Marcus. What's on your wrist? Kara Joey's here. Chaz from the Berg. Good to see you, sir. I said that in a Bobby Legs way. Wearing his SBBN 027. Very cool.
Nice.
Neff is wearing the Zelos Nova Salmon dial.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Didn't know you had that, Neff. James, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Oh, Marcus is wearing the Black Bay ceramic. Very nice. Wilson is here. Good to see you, Wilson. And we got Colin. How's it going, sir? Beautiful night on the porch with the sub on the wrist. Basic black. That's not an insult, right? Is basic black an insult? No? Okay, good, because that's the first time I've used that phrase. I don't want to accidentally insult someone. Darren's here. Good to see you, Darren. Hope you're doing well. Patrick, good to see you, sir. I was actually thinking of you today. Hope you're doing well. Pale Horse, how's it going? Kevin S. Good friend Kevin. I got Chaz, sorry. I know I said hi to you already. Americano at 9 p.m. Wow. I would not go to bed if I did that. Kevin S. goes half lemonade, half iced tea. Classic Arnold Palmer. Did we talk about Coca-Cola and iced coffee? Have you guys tried that?
You recommended it.
Yeah.
Is that in your chalice?
No, I have a ginger beer, Fentimans, from England. This is my favorite drink of all time. So, Cowboy Swami, good to see you. Stefan is here. Good to see you, sir. We've got Steve. How's it going? Jay is here wearing the Sartori Biard. I did not know he had one. Man, I am out of touch. Jay loves that root beer. Congrats, Torin.
Thank you.
Matchy on the beverage. Lots of congrats here on the root beer. Wasn't Chaz supposed to join us tonight? Chaz, what are you doing? Come on.
He left me hanging, but I was like, oh, whatever.
Kevin says, but no golden chalice. Total amateur move. Yep. I was considering pouring it into a cup, but I was a bit lazy. To be on the stream, you must be 10 and have glasses.
Fair.
Yeah, we have a type.
Exactly. It's a questionnaire before entering the stream. Do you have glasses or you can't?
Yeah. That's good. Colin says 221 is number one.
I'm calling Chaz in as a relief pitcher. He said he's a bench warmer tonight. He can join in anytime.
Yeah, for sure. Tennessee Mike is here. Kiara Joey is wearing the Soldat Promesa. Whoa. Interesting. I'll have to look that up after. Wilson's wearing the PAM 1314. And the chat jumped a bit, and I am not going to try and go back there. So, yeah, let's get started on the topic for tonight. I was thinking we could chat a bit about watches that we used to love at some point. Not necessarily watches, that are obvious, like the beginner watches that we start off loving really deeply and then moving on once we mature a bit, but more like watches that we that are generally popular, that we're supposed to like maybe, but that we no longer do, that we've kind of fallen out of love with. I figured that'd be a good way to discuss a few watches, and yeah, I'll kick it off with a Grand Seiko. Also, disclaimer, just personal opinion. I know you guys know this, but for anyone watching after, don't be offended if we don't like, or if we mention a watch that you own or like. It's just purely personal opinion. If I saw you wear one of the watches that I mentioned tonight, I would still walk up to you and make things very awkward. So, yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna say Grand Seiko SBGA 211, the Snowflake. I loved this watch. This watch is was the quintessential Grand Seiko. Most people will probably still say that it is the quintessential Grand Seiko, but I even owned it for a significant amount of time. Considering how I flip watches, I think I owned the Snowflake for about 2 years. 8 months. I don't know. I was thinking of the SPGY 003. So I owned the Snowflake for about 2 years, and yeah, after a certain amount of time, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because the white birch came out, but now it doesn't get my heart pumping as much as it used to. It's still a very beautiful dial. It's still very beautifully finished. But when I remember it, I think of how big it was on my wrist, my tiny wrist. I remember the really long lug to lug, and I don't think of it as fondly as I used to. So, I was thinking of you, Chaz, and I mentioned this. Yeah, I don't mean anything by it. But yeah, so the Snowflake is probably the watch that comes to the forefront of my memory when I think of watches that I don't really love anymore. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Sam, any thoughts?
Yeah, the Snowflake. When I first wore the Snowflake on wrist, obviously I wasn't accustomed to titanium, so I felt it was a bit too light. But the Snowflake was actually a contender for my first, let's say, Grand Seiko. So I had a Snowflake, I had the SPGM 221, and I just fell in love with the 221, especially with the way they do the indices, and the handset. For me, it just feels, for some reason, the handset on the 221 just felt, it's like more substantial and thicker, fully polished and everything. And I'm not a huge fan of the case of the Snowflake. It's sleek and nice, but it's very simple. And I don't like a huge bezel on a watch. So a huge polished bezel, but that's a watch I had to debate, and I chose the 221, but I've actually been thinking about adding a Snowflake to the collection. So I'm starting to appreciate titanium a lot, especially the lightweightness to it. So yeah, for me personally, it's like I had a lot of watches I hated at the start, or not hated, I disliked at the start, but now I've fallen in love with them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's a good topic. Maybe we'll tackle that next week. I feel like we have tackled that, but there's always room for more. But yeah, Torin, do you have any thoughts on the Snowflake?
Yeah, I've never owned the Snowflake. I've definitely tried it on, and I think for me it was similar to Sam's experience. I wasn't used to titanium at the time, so it didn't feel substantial like a luxury watch would. But I mean, I really loved the dial, and at that time I was really into sports watches, so the fact that it wasn't loomed or anything bothered me. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I just got the white birch because it's a lot better,
Ooh.
in my opinion. In my opinion.
Yeah. That goes without saying. How about you, Bobby?
I think it was a good. We just talked about tan, but it's like I think Grand Seiko, the Snowflake was one of the first spring drives, right? That came out iterations, and everybody was enamored by it. I was really liking the model and everything. It feels like when you initially get feel the glow of the sun, but Grand Seiko's really so many models, so many reiterations, so many seasons collections, so many other iterations that we've been bombarded by so many that we've lost love for the original. And not like Torrin was just saying, a lot of people are saying the white birch might be the new standard, white colored or silver styled Grand Seiko as a standard bearer. But I still think the Snowflake is. I think that's how I felt about Grand Seiko so far in general. Is the Snowflake in itself is a great watch, but we've been bombarded by so many iterations, so many design, just subtle changes every week or every month that it kind of numbs the love. It kind of numbs it down for me a little bit. I still appreciate the watch though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving back into the chat, we've got Bobby Legs with a super chat. Thank you so much, sir, with the Sanjay print resumes at Kinko's Fund. I do not know what Kinko's is, but thank you, sir. I actually have to go to Staples tomorrow.
It's like a Staples.
Oh, okay. There you go. Why would they call it Kinko's? What? It sounds
It's
like
the
sounds like a restaurant, doesn't it? Like, hey, meet me at Kinko's. I don't know. Let's see. Neff says I would love to get a GCLP 995. Wilson says Zenith El Primero would fit tonight's topic for me. Oh, okay. Which one, Wilson?
I have something for Wilson later on. Well, I'll go later.
Yeah. Colin, this is Snowflake. Sorry, Chaz. Chaz officially offended. Throwing GS daggers. Dan says he never loved the Snowflake. Wow.
Well, that's something, especially for a person who loves titanium.
Yeah. See, the Snowflake, after owning it for a while, I noticed a lot of orange peel on the polished surfaces. Like, I don't know how that happened. At first, I thought they dye shield coated the Snowflake, and that coating was orange, like giving an orange peel texture. But it turns out Grand Seiko doesn't use that dye shield coating, at least not to my knowledge. But yeah, it was really baffling to see orange peel, and I've seen it on multiple different Snowflakes, so I assume it's a common thing. I don't see any orange peel on my Grand Seiko Winter, the SPGA 415. So weird. Kevin S says, Sanjay, you're dead to me, Fredo.
It's a scene from Mean Girls, Sanjay.
Mean Girls? Isn't it from The Godfather?
It's a movie that we've been talking about, Godfather. Too.
Yeah. Because
you see Mean Girls, I guess. That means
a while ago, yeah, I have seen Mean Girls. Bobby Legs, actually, I feel like Bobby Legs and I talked about this quote. Okay. Wasn't it The Kiss of Death or something? Like,
It was.
Yeah. Okay. I remember. John Smith, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Chaz thinks the Snowflake is infinitely valuable. I think you are infinitely valuable, Chaz. Patrick says it's not a specific watch for me. It's chronographs. I just don't like them anymore. That's interesting. Is I was going to mention kind of a general statement for my next pick, but we'll get to that. Steve says you had too much ginger beer. Let's see. North Flag says 9 Dan. Hey, Sarmad's here. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Started hating my replicas that I bought during the early days of my hobby of collecting watches. It's probably a good thing. But yeah, we all make mistakes. Colin says, somewhat surprising, even to me still. I desired a Longo one for years and years. Finally tried one on, and while beautiful, did very little for me. I've tried a bunch. I tried it a bunch of times and always bored. Yeah, you owned a Longo one, right, Bobby?
Yeah, the time zoner.
Yeah,
I think the Longo one is I can see his point. It's a beautiful watch, but it's how do you say this in a nice way? The case back is beautiful, but a lot of times, it's a lot of watches. Some watches out there where the case back is more beautiful than the dial, and I think the Longo one probably fits in that category. And you shouldn't buy a watch. I guess you probably wouldn't buy a watch if you're thinking case back is better than the dial itself.
yeah. And it was a big one, wasn't it? The one you had, 44?
41, I think
41?
41,
Oh, okay.
42, yeah, platinum. But it was really nice. The only reason I didn't keep it, remember, was I couldn't read at the time.
Yeah.
Which is probably a bad decision of mine not to in the first place.
Yeah. Stefan Schweitzer also says, never been a Snowflake fan, but then mass interest in the model makes it less interesting for me. I can understand that. I feel a lot of us like super enthusiastic watch collectors, we're a bit contrarian. So when everyone's running towards Rolex, we tend to run away. I feel like we do. So the same with the Snowflake, I guess. So maybe there's a bit of a contrarian in me too. Kevin says Sancho could have said White Birch and torn under the bus again. Yeah.
I just don't think you gave it enough time, but I mean, maybe you did. I mean, you pointed out some stuff you didn't like, so.
Yeah, which they fixed with the spring drive one, for me. So, it's not out of the question for me to get the spring drive White Birch, though there are grain Seikos in that price range that I'd rather have, like the celestial rings or whatever they call it now, SBG or SLGA 013. That one's I'd rather have that than the White Birch spring drive. Patrick saying, I agree. Snowflake wasn't so impressive in person. It was very underwhelming. I like the weight. I like the titanium feel. It was. I remember the first time I held it. I remember thinking I'm never going to own this watch because it's so egregiously expensive. But I remember thinking of the weight and being shocked. Being the first time I held a titanium watch as well. But now I find it really charming, titanium watches and the, I don't know. I don't want to say tinny feel, but there's just a warmth to it, it's hard to explain, but I really enjoy them. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of water.
It was like you were holding up a water cooler. It was just
Yeah, it's like a 2-liter jug.
Yeah. But yeah, let's keep going. Sam, do you have a pick? Should we move on to Torrent?
Yeah, I guess so, actually, because I visited the Tag Heuer boutique, and it kind of reminded me of kind of my roots. When I started watch collecting, I really wanted a Tag Heuer. It has such great, let's say, marketing heritage. You have Chris Hemsworth as its ambassador, and and the Tag Heuer is such a great entry level into like getting a mix of all of those things. A bit of flexing, with the Tag Heuer. So I was trying to get into Tag, and one watch that obviously piqued my curiosity was the Aquaracer. So I got to see this again, and this time in a titanium version. It has a green dial, a titanium version, and that one blew me away. Like it's a titanium that's, how do I explain it? It's like a bead blasted finish, and it's very, very dark compared to, let's say, your usual run of the mill titanium. Lightweight, has great micro adjustment with the clasp, but I still, when I put it on my wrist and had a look at the watch, when I saw the Aquaracer logo on the top part of the dial, it just put me off. If they just didn't do that, I would have tried to pick up the Aquaracer actually. So it's always been a watch I was curious, and obviously this new titanium version is the latest one, but the ones in the past, I was I liked it, but then I fell out of love. It didn't really do much to me until I saw this new titanium version, which I liked. It really does look spectacular in person. The way they've done the let's say the indices, they're kind of like hexagonal shaped. They're applied and they have depth. It is quite a nice watch in person.
Yeah. It's an interesting look. I never noticed the hexagonal indices. That's cool.
Yeah, it looks like a high quality watch. The dial. So yeah, they've done a lot of work, but when they put that Aquaracer on the top above the Tag Heuer logo, it put me off a bit.
Yeah. I can totally see that. That does look.
Yeah.
It does look pretty bad.
Yeah.
But hey, something out there for everyone, right? That's a good pick. Thanks, Sam.
Is that a Cyclops at 6 o'clock?
It is.
Yeah, it's an internal one.
Yeah,
I think
there's a couple of things that turns me off.
Yeah. It's like if the Cyclops didn't bother me that much, but it was that Aquaracer logo on the top that just, I really liked this watch, but missed opportunities.
What do you think of the cuts on the dial? What do you call that? The teak deck style.
Similar to the Aquaterra, no?
Yes.
They have. I actually like the Aquaterra with the with that kind of dial.
Yeah,
it brings a lot of depth to it. I'm not a fan of the new Aquaterras that they release with the sunburst colors. To me, they just seem a bit too cheap.
Yeah.
The Aquaterra is a nice watch, but when they release it with a whole bunch of those colors in sunburst, it didn't really interest me at all. I just hated them. I just pick up the old. I like the green Aquaterra, the old school, similar dial to this actually.
Yeah.
I was thinking about picking that one up, but haven't done so.
Green one's really nice. You're Terrific did a good video on that too. I don't know if you've seen that.
I've seen that one.
Torrin, what are your thoughts on the Aquaracer here?
I really like it. I mean, I haven't seen the latest release of it in person, but I would like the what's the full moon one? The Night Diver.
Yeah.
Your Terrific reviewed that one too. I really like it. That's the one I would go for.
Bobby, what specifically do you find off-putting about this guy?
The different shapes, along with the Cyclops at 6, along with the Aquaracer on top.
Yeah.
It all three, and that's just about the dial, right?
Right.
And if that usually I'm more of a stickler for the dials. If the dial doesn't look good, then I'm turned away, even if the bracelet was beautiful.
Yeah, bracelet looks really good. I don't know why they had to put Aquaracer in there. I mean, it's just so unnecessary. It's not It's not like every watch has their name on the dial, right? I mean, some do, but
I mean, it's on the case back too. I'm pretty sure, right?
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Bracelet looks nice. It's a shame, but it seems like they're slowly perfecting it. So maybe next year it'll be that much better. Justin here says Paul's going to give you a call personally. Thank you.
Actually, Paul, I think wasn't a fan of it either.
Right.
So,
Okay. Let's see. I'm liking that green color, says Bruno. Neff likes the Night Diver as well.
Yeah.
Just wish they were 40 millimeters. Too many different shapes. There you go. Dan also mentioning that. Colin says Aquaterra is cool until you cross shop it. Yeah. Steve asking, is it a Cyclops or a magnifier below the crystal? I think that's the same thing, right? Like a date magnifier.
it doesn't Cyclops magnify it to a degree.
Does it?
Like no, like the internal. I don't know if it's internal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
12-sided bezel, Bruno says, has been a staple in the Aquaterra line. Yeah. Bobby, do you have any that you would add to? Oh, sorry, I skipped Torin. Torin.
No, that's fine.
Anything that?
I had two that I thought of, and actually, Sam already alluded to one that's Aquaterra.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because I do like the teak tech version of it, but the new colored versions did absolutely nothing for me. And a similar, we already kind of discussed it. So the other one I wanted to talk about, I don't know if this is a popular opinion or not, but it's the Aorus Pro Pilot X.
Ooh.
Like, I love the original Aorus, like the skeletonized dial.
Right.
The new ones they released are just really plain. I mean, I don't really like them. I don't know. I know they're like they got the upgraded caliber and more wearable size, but
yeah, the dial is really flat. I feel like they kind of lost it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if they had applied indices or something, or bigger hands.
Yeah.
Like something. I mean,
see, there's so much depth in this dial.
Yeah.
And
I wanted to get one of those. It's just, you know, they take a hit on the secondary market. You don't see too many, at least I haven't seen too many in the secondary market. So,
yeah.
I was also keen on the Pro Pilot X, but yeah, obviously the dial was you know, they missed out on that. Even if they just did, you know, the generic Aorus Pro Pilot dial with the applied Arabic numerals, I would have been happy.
If we could apply numerals,
I would have gone up. But this just doesn't make sense. I don't know what they were doing in the design team to create
it's a
this.
pilot watch, and it's not even legible. Like it's,
you've got the whole recipe for a pilot watch, and then the dial is like stolen from some other watch, and they, you know, dumped it in. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like you're right. The case, the bracelet is awesome. The dial is garbage.
See, this would have been if they just put this dial onto it, because this has really nice applied numerals.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah,
it's the Pro Pilot. Yeah, the great crown. Yeah,
very nice font too. Look at that 4, man. It's just right. Kind of a missed opportunity, but yeah, maybe Aorus will tweak that out too. We'll see.
Yeah, hope so.
Oh, we got Paul. Paul's here. How's it going, Paul?
Hey, Paul.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Can you hear us? Did you want to call you about some tag, maybe?
You looked so perplexed. Anyway, the Aquaterra. So, Torin, you mentioned the Aquaterra. Would you say that you initially really liked the Aquaterra with the brush dials? Not the brushed, but the sunburst.
The sunburst,
or were you from the beginning just not into the sunburst dials?
Yeah, I was more into like the teak pattern, either when it ran vertically or horizontally.
Yeah.
That did it like, and the one I briefly owned, I liked it because it was more wearable than an Omega Seamaster Professional, in my opinion. But even like the hands and stuff, and the crown action on it wasn't that great.
Yeah.
So, kind of fell out of love with it.
I actually haven't seen the sunburst styled Aquaterras. I'd like to see them in person. But yeah. Bobby, any thoughts on the Aquaterra and the Pro Pilot X here?
I agree. I mean, if you didn't tell me that it was a pilot's watch, I would probably be okay with the Aorus. If it's a pilot's watch, I completely agree that dial should not be there on that watch. I think the bracelet and the case look great on that piece, though. Aquaterra, I'm more of a fan of the older the what was that movie, James Bond movie that he wore? Skyfall.
Yeah.
That vertical teak color dials. I don't like the sunburst, so I think they took a step back on that model. Hey, Paul, can you hear us?
Hey, Paul.
Hey.
Oh, he's stuck in time.
The
It looks like his ransom video.
He does look like he's in trouble. So the Skyfall Aquaterra, that wasn't the one with the aperture in it. What was it? That was a Seamaster, wasn't it? The 300.
The Skyfall.
Yeah.
I think
Was that
it
the one with the
Seamaster
aperture in it?
Aquaterra.
I'm thinking.
I think the original Casino Royale was a Seamaster, Planet Seamaster, I believe. But
Gotcha. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
Skyfall.
you're right.
There's a Skyfall one, which is blue.
I think there's a blue vertical.
Vertical. Yep. That's
yeah.
what I'm referring to.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, Sam, what are your thoughts on the Pro Pilot X?
Pro Pilot X. As I've said, I mean, it just feels like the dial itself. They've stolen from another watch. It doesn't even look like an Aorus style. It's just so new. I don't think Aorus have ever done that kind of style before, and they just whacked it onto this watch. But speaking of the Pro Pilot, I think it's the $10,000 one. That definitely is nice. It's catchy. You get to see the movement architecture. I love that watch. And if ever authorized dealers, because it's kind of like a toxic watch in the market, no one's going to spend high on an Aorus. If I can get that half price, I probably would try and get one myself. But I think
tried. They weren't budging. At least at Sanjay's AD, they weren't really budging on the Pro Pilot.
Yeah.
It's RAD, right?
But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that whole line. Missed opportunity. I mean, such an amazing case, bracelet, class system. It has so much character to it.
Mm-hmm.
The entire watch, and then
the bracelet reminds me. I don't know if it's comparable, but like the Moser Green Dragon almost. Would you say that's true?
I said that.
I defer to Bobby, but
I said that 2 weeks ago, right? I think I said that 2 weeks ago. But
have you handled the new ones though? Like, are they fume? Like
the
the
Aorus?
Green Dragon? Yeah.
No, the dials don't feel like the Green Dragon. It's just the bracelet has like a.
The bracelet's got the.
Sanjay was the one who mentioned the bracelet being Green Dragon. Like that's what he was.
Yeah, I got that impression too. So I'm glad you got that too, because it doesn't look like the Green Dragon, but when you hold it, it kind of makes you think of it. I don't know. Yeah. So it might seem like we're ragging on Aorus here, but we really aren't. It's a total coincidence because My next one is an Aorus. Oh, but I'm skipping people because Bobby, I didn't ask you if you had any that you really loved, but then you fell out of love with.
I do have. Actually, I used to love this, but now any stainless steel Rolex model, I'm
Oh.
numb to it now. Especially, you know, I feel like the more and more media hypes it up, and people get a frenzy for a release of a Rolex stainless steel model, which is so unoriginal, like a color change of the bezel or a color dial change, and it does nothing for me. I just think it's kind of overhyped at this point.
Yeah.
That being said, I agree. I understand people, liking the watch because it's a great watch. Is like stainless steel Rolexes. The only design I really do not like is the Sky Roller. I think that is an ugly watch. If anybody has any issues with that, you can email me at I don't care at gmail.com. But I really think it's a crowded dial. I think it looks ugly, just plain and simple. If you had to give me money to buy something, I would probably buy anything else besides the Sky Roller. I think the only stainless steel model I think at this point that I like, I do respect the GMT because I think that was an original, design, especially the Pepsi. But I think the Milgauss is the only one that I feel like is interesting to me from a stainless steel Rolex perspective. Everything else is just bland, and every new release going forward, unless it's something original, is going to be bland. I think that was just the nuts and bolts of it.
Yeah, that's well said. I think I agree with you. I'm really numb to almost all Rolex releases now. Don't know why. Like I used to really yearn for an OP, a green dialed OP. Maybe it's because I got a really nice green dialed grain Seiko. And the Explorer, I really don't care anymore. So yeah.
And another thing I think that pushes me is that there's no case back usually, except the Cellini line. And it's kind of like, okay, what am I looking forward to in the future, right? Now, that being said, I do like those precious metal Rolexes. I don't know why, but I think the precious metal Rolexes are kind of interesting. The yellow golds and the platinums out there. I think those are just unique
Yeah.
watches. The Rainbow Daytona, like stuff like that. Those are fun type of un-Rolexy Rolexes, basically.
Right. Steve and Chaz, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I really love Omega. So I know I don't have any in the collection right now, but I really love Omega. Sam, your thoughts on Rolex? I know that's
Yeah.
a loaded question.
Obviously, I've never owned a Rolex, but I've seen many in person. I love the Daytona watch. I'll never own, but I can appreciate it. Yeah, I've seen the Submariner. It is, look, at the end of the day, the Submariner is the goated dive watch. I see it. A lot of people wear it. I've worn it on my wrist. The proportions, everything is perfect for everyday black dial watch. And for something that I like in my collection, actually, it's a black dial watch. So I'm trying to find an alternative to Rolex, but I can't. So it's very hard to do that. But for me personally, the Rolex models, let's say that I'm on a wait list for, is the Explorer 2 Polar. So that's a watch. It's a white dial watch. Surprisingly, I'm still not going to a black dial. But the Explorer 2 Polar is something. It's like a unique. Like I feel like it's more tooly, and I like the white dial with the black. The black indices, so the black circular markers. It looks a little bit more different to the generic, design that you'd get on the divers from Rolex. But yeah, I've just never owned one. So until I own one, I can't really provide my own perspective. So
Yeah, I think I should include that one too, the Explorer 2. I think it's kind of a GMT watch too, so I guess that clumps into. I think that's the one with the orange hand, right? The GMT hand.
That's a really good position to take, Sam. That you're not willing to really comment on Rolex until you've owned one. So I can really respect that. I haven't personally owned a Rolex either, but yeah, I'm indifferent.
I think I can say for most except the Sky. I never bought the Sky Dollar.
Yeah.
So I just hated that design even then. But I kind of loved the stainless steel models at one point. I think I was, this was before. I think it was like 2016, 2015, where it wasn't as hard to get a Rolex stainless steel. Now it's kind of like a AP or a Patek to get a stainless steel. Like, so I don't think Rolex is the stainless steel models at least are not deserving of that
Yeah.
hype.
Well, Money here is saying, how dare you criticize the trademark lack of display case?
Yes, yeah.
That's good. Dib, good to see you, sir. Says Rolex is Bay. UB's B8. That's good. Marcus says Rolex stainless steel without Cyclops and polished center links. Only one model, Rolex Explorer 1. The remaining models are thumbs down. Yeah. The only Rolex I don't really like are the ones with the stones on them. And no, I like them all pretty much. Yeah. Neff's still waiting on the Palm Fronds, right? He's still waiting. Neff, I'm sure you'd have let us know if you got it. Sorry about your wait, Neff. Colin, I'm gonna start reporting these anti-Rolex comments to YouTube. Does Oris even have one iconic design that isn't somewhat stolen?
The Aquas?
Yeah, I was gonna say the Aquas.
Like, that's pretty iconic.
Yeah, it's got to be the Aquas, right? It's good, Paul. Yeah, Neff said Aquas.
I like that one.
Icon, not derivative. Kevin S says everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. What does that even mean?
You don't know that quote?
No. What's that from?
Famous athlete.
Mike Tyson.
Oh, okay. Huh. He would say that. He would. Kevin says Oris Titan. I have not heard of that one. That was good, Paul. That was good. Torin, your thoughts on Rolex?
I mean, on the models themselves, I'm neutral. I just don't like the games you have to play to get one, right? Like,
Yeah.
That's what's really turned me off from them. And I don't have much experience on it. I've only owned the Explorer, and to me, that's like the quintessential Rolex because it's kind of a tool watch, but it kind of just goes with everything, and it's not too flashy. Like, I don't think people would ID it as a Rolex. Like, it's not a Datejust or it's not a Submariner, so I kind of like that about it.
Yeah. Paul's asking again. My Oris question wasn't answered.
Is the big pointer date?
Yeah, the pointer date might be good.
Big Crown pointer date. That's
Is that how many years has it been in the?
wasn't it from 1939 or something?
It's
Okay.
it's got some heritage. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only Oris I would buy is the big pointer date. That's the only thing I liked a lot in the design. It does look kind of like the Vacheron. Is it an annual calendar? I'm not sure, but it does have that same design.
Yeah. Patek does a pointer date. I don't know if it's the same.
The Vacheron, just check for Vacheron pointer date too. I think there's I can double check that. But the question is now, Paul's question is, was it derivative? Which came first, right? Was it the Vacheron or was it the Oris, right? Yeah.
Well, you could say that about every brand, though.
True, but like
Is this the one you were thinking of?
yeah. It kind of looks like the Aorus, right? Though, like not the Aorus design, but the big,
Well, yeah,
it's pointer date. I mean, exactly. But the numerals also, I think some of the Aorus.
Numeral font looks the same.
very, very.
Oh yeah,
much
the
so.
numerals are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was startled. I mean, the 4 is kind of different, but
What is it you feel in the 4?
I love 4s. I don't know why. It's really, I mean, the Aorus pointer date 4
You
is
just had the chat. Now you have a fetish for 4s, so like it's gonna be fun for the.
look at this 4, guys. I mean, just look at it. Look at this 4. It's like a parachute. It's so good. This is a legendary 4. Gotta say.
That's one of the top 5 4s.
Top 5 4s. Longines Spirit has a good 4 too, if I'm not misremembering. Going down the 4 rabbit hole. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that 4. That's a good 4.
I think. How about this one? The Patek 5320G. What's your impressions of that 4?
The Patek 5230.
5320.
532.
We're going into a tangent. Anybody on the chat can mention any good 4s that you've seen.
Let's see this
Yeah, the
4.
leftmost, the topmost, yeah.
No.
Oof, not in the top 5.
No.
Okay, gotcha.
This one's a typewriter, you know?
I see.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole script is just no good. HMO8. Let's take a look at that one. That one's the Hermes, right?
Yep.
I remember having good feelings about this 4. Yeah, that's a good one. It's a little funky. I don't
4.
like the 3 though.
It looks like a 9.
Yeah. It's just got some character, you know. What were we talking about before this?
You were gonna bash Aorus again.
Oh, was I?
I don't know. I think unless we're done with Rolex, like
Max Bill. Gotta look up the Max Bill real quick. Junghans. Someone mentioned the Max Bill 4. I don't know. Let's see. Closer look. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. It's got a nice curvature to it. Yeah, very interesting. Open 4. Sorry, guys. But yeah, we were talking about Aorus, right? We're talking about non-derivative design. Yeah, I mean, if you could say that about a lot of brands.
Yeah, that's true.
Including Grand Seiko. Okay, so the watch I was going to mention next would be the Aquas. Actually, I really I loved the Aquas. It was I had many.
I like how 2 minutes ago you said we're not bashing Aorus.
Yeah, I know.
The next one we're talking about is Aorus Aquas.
you're bashing their icon.
I used to really love the Aquas, but I don't know where it ended. But now when I see the Aquas, I'm a little I don't get the warm and fuzzies anymore. I think I realized this when I was hanging out with Colin and we looked at the Aquas with the almost mirror like dial, ceramic dial, not dial, sorry, bezel, and something kind of changed when I saw it again that close. Because I always planned to get another Aquas in the collection, but now I may just hold out for a pointer date or a Pro Pilot, one of those two. But yeah, the Aquas, it's just super blingy, and it's bulky. It's heavy. Maybe I just spend too much time with dress watches between Aquases, and now the Aquas is just this, unwieldy, brutish kind of thing, right? Like a not elegant anymore, and it's not meant to be, but because of that, I feel like I may have lost my love for the Aquas, especially coming from the SLA 055 and the SPB 185, which have beautiful like curvature to the case, beautiful finishing to it, and then a lot of character. Because of that, I feel like coming from that diver to trying to get back into the Aquas, I feel like it kind of broke my love for the Aquas.
I'm just going to add my second watch here, just because my watch is similar reasons. This was the original Tudor Black Bay.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think that was the reason. I love the rose, the burgundy one with the rose on the crown.
Yeah.
But seeing it again, it's just a brutal slab of metal on the side, and it's just too clunky.
Yeah.
Compared to the Black Bay 58, I think it's so much different. Two different watches, even though in the same line.
Isn't it crazy that they haven't redone that in the 58 case, like the burgundy bezel? I think that would have been a home run. That would have sold out. Tudor could have done so much, and maybe they will in the future.
I think they're doing enough with Black Bay line. Just doing.
They're doing it in every metal now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good one, Bobby. Sam, any thoughts?
I mean, speaking of Tudor, the watch I really liked, from it is a 58. It's the silver, and then I started seeing of that pictures of the watch tarnishing. I watched a Watchbox review, and that watch tarnished to hell. I couldn't imagine it, and you look at the marketing from Tudor, it's like, this watch will not tarnish in years. They've done some special alloys and everything, and you look at the patina that's on the case, and it's crazy. But I don't know if Tudor predicted it or not. If people are into this sort of like the aging of the case, I think it's a home run, because I feel like the taupe dial actually matches the aged case very well, but it's just not my style. If they had released that in stainless steel with taupe dial, I mean, I would have picked that ages ago. But that's my 2 cents on the Tudor. But for the regular Black Bay 41, I mean, I've seen it on person. I guess it's good for people with really large wrists, and they want wrist presence, thicker case. But yeah, it's not for me. It's just the way it's slab-sided. It's one whole, it's like Great Wall of China, and you've got a massive polished side there. So
I think that's the difference between Rolex and Tudor. Rolex has to say something like, this will not tarnish, and of course it tarnishes, but Rolex won't say anything, right? It probably won't ever tarnish. It's kind of like that Goodfellas scene, right? When they started screaming at them and say, "Oh my God, it's the police!" Because if it was the mafia, they wouldn't have said anything. He would already be dead. So same thing. I think Rolex. I think the personnel behind Rolex PR, they don't say words. They don't put up like that, guarantees or anything. Tudor, it's more. I don't know. A lot of things I've seen a lot of people do is buy Tudors and then not keep them for long periods of time, like you were saying, Sam. I just feel like it's more of a, just stopping the craving for watches.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is from some kind of movie, but this is good. Oh, where do you come up with this, Kevin? That's good.
Wow.
There's so many levels to that scene. All right. Sorry, guys. I had to throw that in there. But yeah, great points. Deb saying nothing like a good 4. All right. When is Rolf's Tudor joining the stream. That's the CEO of Aorus. All right. Okay.
Oh wow. Okay. Yes.
What did Kevin say?
Nothing.
Okay. Colin saying you guys should have heard what Sanjay said about the Aqua document. I can't repeat it. I was gracious. Not bashing or it's just some of their watches. Yeah. Not even bashing the watches, you know.
Critiquing them.
Yeah. Just airing out feelings, you know. Clean laundry. Airing out the clean laundry. Chad says, but that in-house 400 mover totally redeems it. Oh wait, never mind. Says
Apparently, they
Chad.
fixed the quirk in it for the newer releases.
You know, I tried to get the minute hand to jump when I was playing with the Pro Pilot X. I could not do it.
Yeah.
It was behaving. So that's kudos to Aorus for doing that, if they have, or it could have been just a.
They claim they have.
Yeah. Because Bruce Williams, when he first got the Caliber 400, he mentioned that for about 2 weeks it never jumped, and then suddenly started jumping when he was playing around with it. So, yeah. But if Aorus says they fixed it, that's really good on them. Yeah.
And it'll never tarnish.
It'll never tarnish. Yeah. Patrick says it's true. Definitely tarnishes. Neff says I really want a stainless steel green Black Bay 58. If they do that, I will trade my Black Bay 36 for it. Yeah. I don't know, does it feel like the Black Bay 58 is kind of past its heyday? I feel like there's less enthusiasm about that watch now, like that lineup of watches.
Well,
And
whatever.
Also, anecdotally, I see a lot of them on the secondary market. Like people just like flood the secondary market with variations of it.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Like people don't keep it for long periods of time.
Yeah.
B. The thing is, 2023 new release will be Tudor Black Bay blank. You can fill it up whatever you want to say. Give you Black Bay GMT Pro 58. I mean, there's nothing else. I mean, there are better watches like the Pelagos.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Bruno here says time for the Black Bay 59. Yeah. Wilson says it peaked at the blue version of the Black Bay 58. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think that's a good spot to stop for the night. Sam, do you have anything coming up this week?
Honestly, nothing much really.
Yeah. It was a great review you did on the SLGH001.
Yeah, SPGH 001.
SPGH, sorry.
I sold that.
Oh no!
No,
Did a review and I sold.
the curse has passed on to Sam.
But nah, yeah.
Is that why you put down that deposit on the Sea of Clouds? Yeah. Yeah. Torin, got anything coming up video wise?
I'll be trying to put out a review on the root beer fairly soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Thanks.
Bobby, got anything to plug?
I know I'm on a wait list for a Sky Dweller. I'm just joking. Still think it's a crappy watch.
Yeah, I still have to get that video out on the Seiko Winter, so I'll hope to get that out this week. Colin says, "Thanks, Sanjay. Hope Aorus doesn't serve you." Yeah, me too. But I don't think I said anything incriminating.
See, that's the difference again. Aorus will give you a warning or something. I gotta look behind my back for Rolex. If you don't see me again,
Yeah, you know what happened.
Yeah.
I'll still have an Aorus in my collection one day. Please leave me alone, Oris. All right, guys. Well, have a great evening. You guys are infinitely valuable. Thank you so much for joining us. You guys in the chat, you make the show so much more than what it already is, and I really enjoy having this time with you all. So, and thank you, Bobby, Sam, and Torrin for joining me here as well. This was fun. Looking forward to it next time as well. All right, guys. Take care. See you next week.